Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for the week of February the 8th through the 14th, 2021. So, before we begin, I'd just like to welcome any new subscribers or anyone who's watching my channel for the very first time. And just to make you aware of some of the things that have happened for this month. So I post each month what I call monthly angel scopes, which are zodiac readings for angel readings for each sign, so that you can get some a little bit more personalized clarity about and for guidance for yourself for the month. So that's already been posted. I just posted it yesterday. And so if you haven't checked it out, even if you have been watching my channel for a long time, make sure you go there. And also, make sure you subscribe to my channel and select the all notification bell so that you're aware when that content comes out. You can find like the content on any of my social media platforms. Those links are below to my Facebook page, to my Twitter account, etc. Also, you can find these things through my website as well. So, now as far as my angel readings, I have extended that special offer that I've been using since the pandemic began, which was my half-hour reading. I extended it for 1 full hour. So if you'd like an angel reading with me, and this would work for you economically, you are welcome to select this, and there are no restrictions or limits. So if you've had a reading with me before using this special offer, you can do it again. So what you do is go to my webpage, theangelschool.com/services, and you would select the half-hour reading as is. And when you do that, I will send you a confirmation email within 24 hours on the first business day, okay? And don't worry about the format on my website. It doesn't work. So in the email, I have already put in the instructions for you to submit your availability, and I ask that you do it for 3 weeks from the starting date that I indicate in the email, so that while I'm working on assigning appointments, that I have enough information, because I usually have a batch of clients that I'm working on and doing that for, and I do meditate with the angels to choose the optimal frequency, date, and time for your reading. And that's always worked well for me, and I really believe in it, so I continue to do that. And that's why I do it the way I do. So I appreciate your cooperation with all of that process for you. Let's see. And then, of course, I post daily card messages Monday through Friday. You can find that on those social media platforms that I mentioned already. There are some meditations and the year annual reading for 12 months. All right, so let's take a deep breath. And this is always a week where I feel a lot of things, and we just had like the moon in Scorpio last week, sort of like the last couple of days, like I think Wednesday, Thursday, and very tough because what it does is, it makes people very extra sensitive, and you tend to take things personally, and so if you found those days a little difficult emotionally, then you'll know why. So yeah, I definitely went through it myself as well. So let's use this meditation and to really clear to release, to let go, to try to reset. And also remember that in this month, I know that Valentine's Day is this week, and the angels are asking us to focus this month on opening our hearts to the ninth dimensional frequencies of higher love. And so we've been working with, in general, the Archangel Zadkiel for this purpose, because he's in charge of the fifth dimensional heart chakras. And so let's tune in to our hearts and close your eyes and just let everything go for a moment. And let anything that is that's worrying you, any concerns, just let them go. And see an enormous and beautiful shimmering light that is illuminating the entire inner reality of your being. And as you give this light of God within you this attention, it immediately expands and it surrounds you, protecting you and buoying your faith and giving you a sense of peace and enormous love. And this light is a pure white with pink, very transparent, very light pink flowing through. And the angels are showing me sort of a pyramid, or the triangle shape, which is actually for the element of fire. And so allow yourself to really embrace your passions and your aspirations, your hopes and your dreams. And we're going to call in Archangel Zadkiel to touch and light up your heart chakra, to flood it with the ninth dimensional frequencies. And activate and give you a sense of support and clarity around all the things that you love, whether it's your loved ones or your passions, or desires and dreams, to amplify your heart and those things for you. And asking them to give you clarity and motivation. And to give you the confidence to have such profound clarity of heart and understanding and compassion and of the vibrations and the vibes that you're receiving from others, so that you can trust your heart and you can trust the messages of love, and you can find the most unique but yet the easiest and the smoothest ways of expressing what's in your heart, whether it's romantic love or it's a deep goal or personal goal, or if it's a project. Now they just wrote the angel number 99 in front of me, and that number means, that's the one that says, "You light worker, get to work on your life purpose." So the message says, the spirit world has an urgent message for you. Get to work on your divine life purpose now. Ask the spirit world to help you with motivation, clarity, direction, and anything else you need. So after you do this little meditation with Archangel Zadkiel and asking him to come in and just open up your heart in this way. Then ask for the clarity that you need to get motivated around your life purpose, to get the direction you need, to get the next step. And sometimes we're just so focused on where do I end up? Where am I going? And it's really good to just sometimes want to be present. You have to put some extra practice and emphasis on this. And just what's my next step right in this moment? What's the next thing for me to focus on to help clear my path? Because you're a part of that. You play a role in how much clarity, how much direction you are able to have based on how you are able to clear out all the debris and really just hone in on that opportunity or that task or job or role, that purpose that you need to fulfill in this moment. And we spend a lot of time worrying about a lot of things at once. And that's the ego. The ego, so you say to yourself, God, I'm trying, I want to do, focus. I want to get myself out there. I want to do whatever I need to do. And then all of a sudden, the ego, because it's afraid of all that whole conversation, so it knows that it can't throw something like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do anything, right? Most of us don't live at that mindset, although some of us do. And so what the ego does is it brings up a collage of things that are wonderful, but now you can't focus. You don't know what to do. And then you end up practicing, I don't know what to do. And it's because you have some doubt about the thing that you recognized that was your priority in that moment. And then you let your mind slip into other things because you doubt that you will know what to do when you sit down to do it, or you're afraid of being disappointed again. There's all sorts of reasons, but any of those will trigger this kind of response. And so we have to help the universe by practicing and being focused on in the moment on what's in front of us. And sometimes you're going to have pressing needs that just have nothing to do with your dreams, right? And so if it's bothering you that much, then you have to get those little tasks done, right? So the thing is that I should be able to think of many examples because I'm notorious for this, but it'll be like a bill or a phone call to let's say Con Edison, and you just make the biggest deal about it. You know that it's going to be tough to call customer service and whatever, and then you don't do it. And what it does is then it lingers, and then when you try to focus on other things, you can't, because it's this thorn, just plunged right in the middle of your heart, and so everything becomes confused, and because you're feeling anxious about one thing. So it's best to not practice this kind of confusion, because this is the way we practice this and leave ourselves in a state of anxiety. And so you just have to go ahead and push through the fear and do that thing so that you're free, because you'd be surprised how that one little thing ties up your energy and you're in this knot of anxiety about that, but now everything else you're looking at is also now being colored by that energy. And so if you never deal with that, and you just keep ignoring stuff like this, then you constantly are trying to function in this knot of anxiety. And the anxiety is really, you know, that it's almost like energy is flowing for something to be done, and then we're bottlenecking it, and so it builds up. And energy, adrenaline is very powerful and potent. So the thing is that like the universe itself, like a river, a current, a flow, we have to always allow our energy to flow. And we have to trust that if we are being cognitive of energy and its need and its purpose and its way of functioning, that also encoded with that is the blueprint of solutions and best outcomes. So there's always a reason for outcomes. And we're always afraid because we don't want to go through certain things. Like right now, we've been going through this pandemic and we've gone through other things in the last 4 years, and we've gone through them for a reason. And before I fell asleep last night, I heard this. I don't think I was dreaming. The tarot lady, Teresa Reed, and we're talking about weather, like basically our lives are weatherless in the sense that there's always something going on. There's good and bad, ups and downs, and this idea that came up in one of my writings this week as well, is that think about it. We started from zero, the universe, it's nothingness, and then there was the Big Bang, and that's chaos. But that chaos was a process leading to an outcome, which was universal laws and divine order, where our planets and our solar system, the galaxy, universe is this beautiful orchestration of perfection. And if you would then peer into our world from afar, you see pure perfection. But when you go deeper, you start to see the chaos of our human reality. But the thing about it is that, like, that nothingness to the Big Bang, into the Big Bang, into that, it's like that dynamic of perfect and imperfect. It is, in a sense, what I think she meant, weatherless, in the sense that that these things are always have a purpose behind them. It's always, the imperfections always leading to perfection. The imperfections always, so it's just a matter of us being more accepting of the full spectrum of life and not getting caught up in just a moment. And of course we're human and we're going to do that because that's what, that drama, little bit of drama allows us to, that chaos creates transformation within us, our reactions. But there's some of it where we just get stuck longer than we need to be. And I think that's what anxiety is a signal of, that you're holding on to something longer than it was meant for you to experience to get what you needed. Now you're not getting what you needed and you're getting backed up. And the energy is saying, move out of my way, why don't you? You know what I'm trying to say? So, be aware of that. And I think so much in our lives too, we're afraid to express our love. We're afraid. We're afraid to be ourselves, to say what we feel, because so many times people make us feel like what we say is meaningless, or silly, or thoughtless. So you have to trust, because all these things cause us to close up our hearts. And we really need to open our hearts. This is a huge part of our life purpose, because if we open up our hearts, we to this higher frequency of love, we are opening for higher understanding, for compassion. We're allowing ourselves to see and feel and experience this world from a higher perspective, which means that we'll find that the courage to and the empowerment to live in the human experience more fully and with less fear, and more compassion and understanding for ourselves and for others. And that is a huge part of our ascension process and the world. And when you open up your heart in this way, your heart becomes this chalice as the universe has been pouring in more light to help us, and they're pouring it into our heart, this source love, to help shift the planet and to help shift our consciousness in this new vortex or context of love. And this is what will help us to rise above some of the issues of today and help us to really start activating our talents to be, to innovate the solutions for tomorrow and our future. All right, so let's take a look at the card that we'll be working with, the Archangel for this month. And it's the Archangel Zadkiel. And this is the card Clairaudience. And so we really do need to hear, we need to listen, we need to, first of all, be really open to our own truth. And opening our hearts allows us to amplify our soul's guidance so that you can start to hear the truth over the lies that our ego has been telling us. And that's why in these last years, we've been experiencing a lot of sort of conspiracy and lies and things, because this was all ego. And we all have an ego. And so we all have to understand our ego is afraid. And it's been telling us lies to keep us from realizing our spiritual potential. And because it's afraid of potential. It's not evil, the ego. It's just afraid of potential, because potential is more than what it is. And that's a lot of things. And so it's afraid. And so in this week, I get a sense that I'm just saying the word call. I mean, you might get a call, but I really feel like this is like you're being called by the universe to be open to the plans and the guidance that they are giving to you to help you through certain aspects of your life. And they're calling you, like that number 99, I mean, that they're really summoning us. And if we're bogged down, if our hearts are closed and shut and we're bogged down, then we're in a prison. Like I was saying at the beginning, a window, but there were so many panes, window panes, and that it almost felt more like a prison window rather than, a window for someone standing in a home where they're completely free and have this opportunity to look at the world and receive. Because windows for me represent opportunity, like windows of opportunity. So if we're not fully open, then it's like the filters are too tight to really allow in the clarity that you need and the understanding and the compassion. So the card says, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Okay? And so as you open your heart, be open to listening to people and what they have to say, but listen to the truth, the guidance that you will receive. So, sometimes people are not going to be honest, but you have to listen to what your guides are telling you underneath all of that. And that guidance will help you to navigate any challenges that you incur. All right, so let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. And this is the Eight of Cups, Eight of Water. And this is a card about, usually a card of travel, relocating, time to move on, that you've recognized enough is enough. If it's a relationship dynamic, whether it's romantic or personal, professional, a career, you have this sense and you're getting some kind of message about making change, going in new directions, following your heart. And this card has all this beautiful moon energy. So I also get this sense and that you're going to be that some things are going to come up, like maybe something will occur that will bring some truth to the surface and make things perfectly clear that this is no longer acceptable, and that this is something you need to move on from. Like you need to get this out of your life, whatever it is. And or you may have been feeling stuck, and like I think here we got that river, we've been talking about that, and when we're not moving with that anxiety, because we're holding back. And so maybe in some way you realize that you have to stop holding back. Maybe you get this clarity, that you've been holding yourself back, that you've been making a decision that has really been sort of creating this contradiction in what you deserve or would like to experience, and you didn't see it before, and now you do. Okay? So I'm also drawn to the light over the mountainside. So it's very dark on this side, but over there is the promise of new possibilities, new realities, joy and fulfillment, as this leads to the 9, right? Which is about joy and fulfillment and being happy. So don't if you feel like you're sort of in this moon-like energy. It's interesting, we're just talking about that. And that moon in Scorpio may have caused people to also realize that they've had enough, because you felt the energy so deeply, and it hurt that you just realized, like, I gotta give this up. So there's some things that you're gonna just be giving up and letting go of, because you realize that you don't deserve to hurt in that way. All right, so let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. And just look at the energy of these paintings that Celia drew. This is the 3 of Cups. So it's not the 9 of Cups, but it's the 3. And this is a card of friendship, celebration, joy. So, but the energy is very similar, except we have this green kind of energy in here, and it feels like they're dancing in the water, in a wave that's coming up, and here this green energy, maybe it's this heart sort of energy, three-dimensional heart chakra energy. So there is, maybe you will turn to some friends that are, like, I'm seeing Archangel Raphael. So he's writing about a change, and he's saying, he's writing the word repay. So let me figure out what that means. But that this, this change, when you make this change, or when you realize, you may find support in your close friends or loved ones who maybe they've been sort of trying to help you, clue you in a little bit, right? And maybe you'll have you'll have this heart-to-heart kind of talk, and it will be healing. And another thing about this energy, the 3, is expansion, right? So it's time for you to expand your horizons, to expand your, it's like, I feel like when they just wrote the word expansion in front of me, that you have not been feeling this, that you've been feeling sort of withheld in some way. So it has to be, there's something around that you realize that you haven't been as happy as you deserve. And this situation is causing you to realize that you deserve to really open yourself up to, to the world, to open up your life, to help make these changes that will put you in a position where you can breathe a little bit more easily. And they're saying you're really empathic. So with these water cards, so trust your feelings, trust your guidance. They're saying it's important for you to really be expressive. And I get a feeling that you might be in a situation where you are not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to be yourself. There's a lot of restrictions or something. And that this is another reason why you need to sort of break out of this expectations they're writing, that they're just some expectations that don't align with who you are. And you've tried and you've tried and you tried to make it work. But you've got to be true to yourself. And maybe this card is about, you need to go where you feel like you're surrounded by people who are more like-minded, or your tribe. So I think that's really what this card is indicating. Following this, that you need to find your tribe. You realize that you're not with the right tribe, and so that you need to move. You need to make that change. All right, let's take a look at. Ooh, these cards are so beautiful, aren't they? With the colors, and this is the Ace of Fire, or the Ace of Wands. And it's just this beautiful, it looks like I can't tell if it's a dragon or a phoenix, right? It more likely might be a phoenix, but it could be a fire dragon, actually. And so with this energy, it feels like, number one, clearing, because fire dragons can clear your space, right? Clear the energy around you, to open up your path, and to once that negative energy is cleared out, then you're left with this very spiritual, inspirational, all this motivation, right? So you have this flow now. But this is like, and just looking at this image here, it's almost like, a new opportunity is going to come out of this clearing. So once you clear your energy, clear the things that are holding you back, once you let go of trying to fit into those constraints, restrictions, you will be free to and open to all kinds of opportunities here. So I'm seeing the Archangel Raphael, Shamuel's coming through as well. And, this energy also is associated with Archangel Metatron, this golden orange energy. So you can really call upon Archangel Metatron and Archangel Raphael, as he's coming up to help you, first of all, to get motivated, to help you to focus on your priorities so that you can move in that new direction. And Archangel Raphael also helps with transitions and travel, so and healing your heart. So they're writing focus. So in the end of the week, either you start to feel like you have this clarity, and you start to really focus in on what your passions and your dreams are, so that by the end of the week, you're likely to have a clearer direction, that you'll be really inspired, and know where you have to go, and it's going to take time in that transition, but at least you'll know where you're going, so that all this other stuff doesn't need to bother you. And they wrote beliefs, like, I think you're going to really believe in yourself. You'll be surprised that once you make this decision to cut these strings and to really celebrate who you are and your uniqueness, that you're going to really feel so liberated. Because all those little lies, that because you tried to make yourself fit into a certain situation, those lies that you were listening to were just, downplaying, downgrading, suppressing, repressing. And that is creating that anxiety. You'll be free and the energy will just start to flow. Okay? And that's the feeling I get here. So work with the fire dragon energy. It really looks like a fire dragon, but it could be a sphinx, which is sort of just like a rebirth energy, right? But either one works, but work with fire elementals to help you to conjure your dreams, your desires, the things that inspire you, the things that motivate you, to help you to focus, because that's the word they wrote, to focus on these things and not to focus on the stuff that's weighing you down, the stuff that just drags you down, right? Because you can see, as far you can create power and energy. You can cause the universe to move for you when you focus on the things that empower you, when you focus on the things that you love and that you're passionate about. You're conjuring up this enormous ball of energy. All right? Power. So this will, liberate you. All right, so just be sure to listen to those messages. And here we have the card I pulled from the bottom of the deck, and it's the Star card. You can see for the major arcana, she uses this sort of, I don't know what to call this, like sort of lemniscate type energy. It's not symbol. So we have the Star card. And this card indicates, success in terms of your goals. It's a long-term goal. And, it's a star of hope. So it's the beginning of rebuilding. After the tower, after that moment is that beginning of the rebuilding. But the thing is that everything is looking up. And over the long term, the stars is leading you, like a star guiding you. It's guiding you to that celestial opportunity. I think of this as like my life purpose card. That it means that you're on that path. When I see the Star card, because it's guiding me there, and that you've picked up the scent and you're heading in the right direction. So the only thing to do is have faith. And Archangel Michael came through, and he's wanting to help you by cutting any cords of things that, cut the cords to the things that are holding you back, the attachments, the obligations, your fears, right? Give the angels permission, and Archangel Michael, to fight your battles. But you got to stop fighting them until you're inspired to and guided to do something I like to call divine action. All right, so that if you're given divine action to say something a certain way, to put the fire out of something, all right, then that's divine action. You take divine action. But otherwise, let the angels, pray to them, ask them to handle this, and they're on it. You have to believe that. All right, they're on it. I see the word resignation. So some of you, this might mean a resignation that you're handing in. Okay? But know that this change is divinely guided. No, you're not being emotional. No, you're not being overly sensitive. No, it's not one of those things. No, there's a purpose behind this. And there's a golden opportunity to write in gold. There's a golden opportunity in following this guidance. You deserve to be happy and fulfilled in every way in your future. And here we have this shimmering one who looks like she's caring for this star, right? This is a shimmering being, like a Deva or Deva, that Celia Conway in her Oracle deck, the creation, Devas of creation, she says it's actually pronounced Dewa, but whatever way is fine. But this Deva or Dewa is caring for that star, and she's caring for think of that star as your soul and all of your dreams and your aspirations. And that the universe is going to be caring for you. That's the bottom line here. And guiding you, caring for you, and aligning everything. Because when you think of all the stars in the solar system, and they're out there, and they don't bump into each other, right? They don't collide. I mean, of course they do, but it's not like it's with all those magnetic fields. You would think that they would just all keep drawing it towards each other, but some divine order, universal laws, keeps them in their orbits. And it's the same kind of care, protection, security, and love that we receive. And that's the one parable I love so much is in Matthew. Jesus says, if they wouldn't, if I'm going to paraphrase, I can't remember how it's literally said, but the idea is like, if we clothe the grass and the lilies of the field, then would not your Father do the same thing for you? So would not the universe, your angels, the source, your I am presence, not do as much for you? So if we could relax into this concept, have faith in this awareness, then we don't need to hold back. We don't need to suppress. We don't need to fear taking actions. We just need to trust and follow the star of our hearts and know that you will be guided to say the right thing. It may not feel like the right thing to you, but it's the right thing that needs to be said in order for there to no longer be any attachments still, or energy being siphoned through the attachments that's negative and depleting for everyone. So we need to trust. All right. So pay attention to those thoughts that you receive in your mind. This is not a deception of your ego. You're not being petty, or you're not whining, or whatever things that people have said to you when you were growing up on the playground, or any little criticism that made you feel like your feelings and your dreams and things are silly. We need to put those things behind us and now listen to the mature guidance and wisdom of your I am presence, because that is what's in charge right now. And we keep giving our attention to our ego because it's easier. It's easier to listen to your ego, because what your higher self is telling you is frightening because it's full of uncertainty. And the ego's plan is like, well, stay where you are, suffer. That's easy because you know how to suffer, because you know what you're going to suffer. And that's why people choose to stay rather than to move forward and improve. All right, so don't give in to that. We're all here together, and we're all in this together, and we're all here for one another. I know I need this kind of support just as much as anybody else, and I'm always here for you, and I know you're here for me. And I'm seeing the word imaginative or imagination. So really pay attention to your imagination, because that's where those messages are going to come. Your ego does not have access to your imagination, because it is the divine expressing creativity and creative ideas through you. So they want to make sure that you understand it's your imagination, all right, that you're looking to. So have a beautiful week, and God bless you.